Hey, for those of you online, if you don't mind confirming you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. We'll be starting at 1:05, just a heads up to allow everyone to get in. So about 3 minutes here if you want to grab a coffee or anything. All right, those of you online, I'm going to get started here. I'm going to pass out some handouts in class and I'll show you where they're online as well. All right. Hi, everyone. So we are planning your 2023 marketing plan for today. So I do have some things for you. And again, if you're online, I'll show you where these things are online as well. So you're going to have a blank side where we're going to plan month by month for theme. And then I have the other side, which I already have it planned. But this will allow you to kind of pencil things in. You can see the back side has like ideas already pre-filled in of what kind of we do. But then there's a back side for you to be able to fill that in for blank. And if you are online, okay, just to point you to where these resources are. And for those of you in class too, it's great for you to have this online as well. So all of our class notes are actually on our website. So that's JuLeahDesigns.com. That's JuLeah designs with an H, oh sorry, designs with an S.com. So I'll write it up here. It's JuLeah designs with an S.com. All right, and to write down our email address, our email is just contact@JuLeahDesigns.com. So anything I talk about in today's class, if you do want more information on, I do have quick tip videos to send you. The layout of today's class will be the first half of class. We're going to focus on planning your 2023 marketing plan. The second half of class, we'll be taking a look at learning what are the command tools that'll make it so you can take that mental weight off completely of your marketing process. So the idea is there are smart plans. There are tools in Command that allow you to not have to be constantly looking at a calendar to know, okay, what's next in my marketing, right? You can set up a smart plan that'll automatically remind you. Okay, so first half of class, thanks, Jules, we'll be planning the what the content idea is. Second half of class will be utilizing Command to actually implement that. So to grab the online version of the notes, so if you are online, okay, or even if you're here and you want that online, if you go to JuLeahDesigns.com, hover over Tech Corner, and then tech class schedule from that drop down. You'll have to scroll down slightly, but that's where our notes are for each class. So again, I'll send this in the Zoom chat so you can easily click it. But once you go to JuLeahDesigns.com, hover over Tech Corner and click Tech Class Schedule. And then you'll just have to scroll down to actually find the notes. They're hyperlinked here. So the two that we'll be working on is I do have that worksheet. That's what I just passed out during class. Now, before you do anything, so you have the editable link online and access to you guys. Now you're going to need to make a copy so you don't edit the version that everyone else does. So if you want to do this online, right, even if you're in class and want to do it online instead of on paper, if you can come up to File and make a copy, that's going to copy this into your Google Drive. So when you make edits to it, it's only editing your version and not the same version for everyone else. Okay, so again, if you want to pull this up, how I got here, JuLeahDesigns.com, hover over Tech Corner and Tech Class Schedule. And then I'm selecting that worksheet here. So if you want to get like a typable link, right, or a typable worksheet, it'll pull up a Google Doc, but we need to make a copy. So come up to File and make a copy. That will copy it to your drive, and you just want to keep the copy open. You can X out of the original. So I'm going to put a note here so you guys know to make a copy. File, make a copy. All right. So once you make a copy, you'll see the name of the doc is copy of resources for class. So that's great. You want the copy up and you can X out of the original. Do we feel okay with that process so far? Great. Okay, last thing I'm going to give you as far as a handout goes, I'm going to hand that out to you guys in class as well. But if you are online, right, back on our website here, I also have a printed calendar. So that worksheet is going to allow us to go through and plan content ideas month by month. And then we're going to take a look at that on a calendar view. So if you want to open this up, I will. This is what we're going to be talking about, where things should strategically be on a calendar and how that will look. And then we'll talk about, of course, how to implement this into Command. So you don't have to be looking at this calendar. Command just automatically reminds you when you need to do something. Okay. So those are the main two resources for class. Let me give you guys a calendar in case you guys want one. Any questions on accessing that though? Okay. It's on the. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did copy of it. Yeah, you probably have some brightness here.
Oh,
Go.
thank you.
So now you don't have to be squinting. Yeah. Yeah, as long as it says copy of on the top tab, copy of is what you want it to say, like on the title of it, just so you're not editing everyone else's. And if you do have it, everyone else's, it's not a big deal. I have it copied anyway. All right, guys, so let's kick off talking about our marketing plan. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up this file. Okay, so if you'd like to have that too. Again, if you've got this online, please note that the second page is blank for you to write in. And then the first page is it's our ideas and what we're implementing. Okay, just so you have those there. And the third page is where I'm actually going to start. And let's talk about what are our goals? You know, what should we be focusing on this marketing plan? Okay. And we're also going to talk about doing this in a way that's doable for your business. I 100% know you guys are realtors, not marketing, right? However, the beautiful thing in your business is you're all of those pieces, right? So I'm going to teach you this in a way that's actually practical and doable to implement in your business. All right, so first of all, let's talk about what are the avenues that you can reach out to your clients, right? So those main avenues, and this is on the third page of those notes, you should have those, but you can see it on my screen here. So in the past, we've really been focusing on, let's say, social media. That's a caveat that a lot of agents will get in. They'll focus hours and hours on social media. And that's great. It's free. It's a great way to brand yourself, get in front of people. However, there's only a percentage of your sphere that get their news from Facebook, right? Versus there's another percentage of your sphere that get their news from email or from physical mailers, okay? So this idea here is taking that same content that you are creating and just putting it on all the various channels, okay? So we're not creating more. We are just going to put it, we have the content, let's put it out in an email and a social post, right? And if you're feeling crazy and you want to pick up business, you can also send that out in a mailer, right? Or a Facebook ad, okay? So the free ways to get in front of people, okay, there's 3 free ways. And you can write this down as well. I would recommend it. I have the channels written actually on the top here. All right, so your free ways to get in front of people, emails, okay? And we'll be talking about that because your contacts do need to be in command, right? But I think most of you do have that in there. So email blasts, okay? And we'll be talking about strategies and frequencies next. So that's free. Social media is another free one. So those are really great to use, but also very time consuming, right? So with those two, let's take the same content we're putting on social and email it out, okay? So we're not recreating. Another free way you can get in front of people, and this kind of goes along with these two, but that's video, okay? And I'm going to talk about a doable way to put that in your business, okay? Once a month, putting that video on social media in a newsletter, okay? And that, I mean, video, I'm sure you've heard me talk before. I mean, that is the biggest way to get in front of people because all these platforms are pushing video. If I put a picture on Instagram, for example, I get, I don't know, 75 likes. I put a video on Instagram, and I don't usually, and I got 30,000 views because they're trying to push video content to keep up with TikTok. So there's a lot of value in being in that first jumper to posting a video just to get your face out there, right? And we'll talk more about that in different strategies. And then fourth way, right, are calls, right? Calls. And we're going to talk about setting up a quarterly call plan. Okay, so the idea behind this is that your system is set up so you don't have to think of anything. So quarterly call plan, you can set up, let's say your top 50. All right, because I want you to start thinking about that because a lot of this plan, right, when you're sending emails, great, that can go to your whole database. But some of this, like calls, and we're going to talk about like pop by ideas, right, those more personal touches, you want to start narrowing down your top 30, top 50, right? What does your top sphere look like? And we'll talk about also tagging them so that you can start marketing to that top sphere. So the quarterly call plan will do just that. It'll remind you to call, let's say you think you can call 3 people a day in your top 50. Great. It'll remind you 3 reminders a day to call the top 50, right? Each person, and then it goes through and you can mark that off on your command app. Okay. So I'll be showing you that as well. So far we've talked about the 4 free ways, right? That's email, that is social, video, which kind of goes into both, and then calls, right? And then the paid avenues are really the ways you get in front of unmets. So right, the goal of this marketing plan is more to be honing your sphere, right? So the idea of this is to increase your referrals. However, to reach unmets, that's just where it's the paid things like Facebook ads or postcards. You can actually send a postcard to your database if you have mailers as well. So we'll be talking about that, but of course that is, the paid versions there. Lastly, there are birthday and anniversary smart plans that we'll work on setting up. So you get a reminder 7 days before each person's anniversary and birthday, so you can write that handwritten note and get it out to them, okay? All right, so those are your channels here, all right? So now let's talk a little bit about strategy, and then we're gonna go into content planning, okay? So first of all, let's talk about how many of each thing. Email starting. Strategically, you wanna have 2 emails a month, okay? 1 email is the call to action newsletter. And you'll see that's highlighted here with the 4 main things, right? And we'll talk a little bit about this. But that call to action email, that's about your business. That's telling them how to give you referrals. That's things like the market stats. And just a heads up, Canopy gives an infographic like around the 15th of every month. You can just grab that and put it in, right? That's your market stats, right? And I can give you steps if you're not sure on how to access that. If you can just jot that down, that you want steps to get the infographic from the MLS, have a direct link I'll send you if you don't mind just emailing me any questions that come up in class like that. I'll send that to you. So that is how you would add the market stats super easy. Like it's as easy as downloading the image they already made and put it in this email. Then other things like things you're doing in your business. If you're doing something in the community like KW Cares, or maybe you volunteer at a local shelter, whatever the case may be, people like to work with someone who helps people, who cares about others. And then, if you did any listing or any business this month, and a call to action. So that's where you're actually telling them how to give you business. And I used to think that was kind of silly because I was like, well, they know they can just reply to this email, right? But actually explicitly telling them, reply to this email. If you know of anyone looking to buy or sell, I'd be happy to help them. That is something that I want to work on in today's class, is brainstorming that call to action. Because for me, overly salesy is a turnoff for me, right? So I like to flirt with that line of what's a call to action where I'm being direct and telling them how to give me business, but at the same time, I'm telling them to give me business so I can help them. It would be my pleasure to help, not from a sales standpoint. And we'll revisit that, but I just want you to start thinking of that. Now, that email is great. That email is necessary. It's oftentimes the only email agents will ever send. And guess what? No one gives a crap about your business unless you also provide them value in a second email. So that's where that second email comes into play. And that's providing them value. Like this month, we sent out the top pumpkin patches in Charlotte, right? And then we also provide them like some verbiage on interest rates, right? So the idea is we have 2 emails per month. 1, call to action. That's about your business. What are you doing in your business, right? And that brands you as a business that is, even if you don't have 9 listings on the market, guess what? You can set that up to just show that you are doing activity in the real estate market, in the real estate community. That's what they want to see, your involvement. But again, no one cares about that email unless they have that second value add email. Okay, that decreases unsubscribe rates substantially. If you are providing, so that second email does not look like, hey, give me business. That looks like, what would you be interested in this month? And that's what we're going to plan today. And that's things like top pumpkin patches, cool conversation starters for your Thanksgiving table, the quirkiest gifts on Amazon for Christmas, right? So you can see how we have like a theme for each month, and that's what we're planning. And I gave you guys those ideas too. All right, lastly, just a couple more ways that you can be reaching out to people, so while these are monthly, right? So that monthly, those are 2 emails a month we would recommend. Now, these are recommendations, guys. You can absolutely start small, but I'm telling you what the strategies are in the most doable manner we could figure it out. So with that being said, then those social posts, 2 a week would be great. If you guys can focus on, if social media is not your strength, great, focus on 1 a week. But guess what? We already made some content here for these newsletters, these emails, right? We at least have market stats, that infographic. We have maybe some involvement that we're doing in the community, maybe KW Cares, right? So that's 2 things from the call to action newsletter. Then the value email, okay, we have top pumpkin patches, right? You could just Google top pumpkin patches in Charlotte, what we do. And then you have something educational, right? Something about interest rates, and we'll touch more on that. But right there, you have 4 pieces of content that you already sent out in the email that you can just go ahead and put on your social media, okay? And again, we'll be talking more about the how to make this actually happen, okay? But strategy-wise, that should be your goal, okay? About 2 social posts a month and not recreating the wheel, not recreating that content, right? Creating that content for your newsletters and taking it and posting it on social media too. Yeah, it takes a little while to get there, right? To get that efficiency going, but that should be your end goal. Outside of that, and I'm going to show you too how to use Command. You can actually plan your social posts for the entire month. Sit down one time and do that. We'll set up smart plans for birthday and call reminders. So you'll get reminders of that automatically in your Command account.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Should we be seeing your screen?
Oh, am I not sharing my screen? Let me see.
No.
1 sec. Well, thanks. Oh, that took you guys a while to tell me that. Thank you, Shannon. Stop video. Now are we seeing something?
Yes. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks for telling me, Shannon. appreciate it. All right, so that final, those annual touches here, right? So we're going to talk about as well those pop by gifts, and we're going to just talk about events. And that sounds terrifying as it is. So we're going to talk about a way that you can make it natural, going to events that are already being thrown, pictures in the park kind of thing. All right, so those are big things. So those pop buys are really important for that top 50. All right, and we'll be talking about how to go ahead and implement that in a doable way. So let's first bring out the calendars, or it's not really a calendar. It's the blank this. It is what I have on my screen for those of you online. We're going to be pulling up this, okay? So if you do not have this, again, this is on JuLeahDesigns.com, and then go to Tech Corner and Tech Class Schedule. Scroll down to click the worksheet, but you do need to make a copy. So if anyone online is going to be writing on this, make sure you go to File and make a copy, or you're going to be editing the original and giving everyone your great ideas. Okay, so make a copy. So you do want to see on the top tab here that says copy of. And those of you in class, I do have, you can write it down on the physical piece of paper too. Okay, so what we're going to think about is 3 things for this planning here. We're going to think about, I'll give you something in a second here, our content theme ideas, okay? What is that content for all of our posts going to be to draw it together? Typically kind of like the holiday of the month, right? Then we're going to think about a value add, okay? So that's in that email, that second email, you're just providing value for them. What's something that they would care about that's going on, let's say in Valentine's Day the next month, right? So this is a January newsletter. Wouldn't it be cool if they got top restaurants in Valentine's Day, right? For Valentine's Day in Charlotte, that would be something that provides value for them. Or top, they call it like Galentines or Palantines too, right? Which are fun terms. If you Google things like that, Axios and charlottesgotalot.com, just lists events. And that's all we do is we grab the events. Like watch, if you just go to, you Google Charlotte's Got a Lot, and Axios is another big one. But let's say Charlotte's Got a Lot. So you can see right here, things to do, events, et cetera, et cetera. So if I click on that, one of my favorite articles on here is new restaurants that just came to Charlotte last month. Who doesn't care about that, right? Those are really cool things. So where it says like things to do here, and events are 2 of the big ones that I check out to just get things that, I personally always have a hard time knowing what events are going on in Charlotte, right? I want to do things, but I miss the festival, right? Because where is that central place that you're getting notified of events? Yeah, I could probably sign up for a newsletter from here, but what if you were that resource? Right? And what a value that you're providing. Often when you ask people, hey, can I get your contact info? They're like, ooh, no, you're going to send me all this real estate stuff. This is where that value piece comes in. Hey, can I get your contact information so I can keep you up to date on what's going on in Charlotte? I send out every month the top events for the month so you can stay up to date and the newest restaurants that are coming to Charlotte. Who wouldn't want that kind of news to their inbox, right? Do I want salesy real estate stuff to my inbox? Not that much, but if I have to get that to get the value add, I will, and I won't unsubscribe, right? Because it's worth it. All right, so you can see where that value add really comes in. And writing down, I don't have this on the sheet, so charlottesgotalot.com. So you can see if you click on events, right? It gives you events for all of October, November, things going on. And then also Axios is another one. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot to get you. Yeah. Yeah, and then on the back is blank. Axios, I think is AXIOS. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you. Axios Charlotte. Let's go with. You just Google Axios Charlotte. Other things that people really care about is, businesses moving to Charlotte. I really like that one. So like any jobs, right? Because that means there's jobs coming to Charlotte, right? So anytime you hear on the news, right? Not this is happening. Apple is opening a new headquarters in Charlotte. That's big news that really relates to real estate, right? So anything on these sites, that's your value, and that's what you can pitch to people when you're asking for their contact information to provide them value as a Charlotte expert, okay? Not just for homes. All right, so I'm going back to our plan here. So I would love for you during this time to write on the front, you have the list of ideas that I came up with, Alicia, and the back should be blank. Great, if you want to use one of the ideas I came up with, let's star it or highlight it, or even better on the back where it's blank, let's start writing in your ideas. All right, you don't even have to write in your ideas. You can use all of mine. That's totally fine. Yes. Yeah. No, it's for you to fill out if you would like to. Well, I did it already, but if you think of something, yeah, you too especially. We're doing your whole package. So, you know, if you want to think of other ideas, and you can even add that on the front, right? It's just a worksheet for you guys to start planning this. So what this looks like is, let's go ahead and first think of a content theme. I was most successful doing this by month, right? So if you just want to use what I have on here, great. You can see I really themed it mostly by the theme of the month, right? So that one's pretty obvious. And that helped me, though, determine what my value add should be for the next month, right? So I probably want to do something for value add that has to do with the content theme for the next month, right? So for February, for example, right? Well, things to do in Charlotte for St. Patty's Day would be a great value add because March is St. Patty's Day. April Fools is April, okay? The value add before, how about cool, funny April Fools prank ideas, right? Things like that. So look at the content theme for the next month, and that's what you want your value add to address the month before. Is that clear? I know it's a little confusing because we're looking at future months, but even if this gives you an idea to start from, great, right? Now, we really only, the top two are your main goal here. That second one is something additional that could really set you apart that other agents aren't doing. However, it's not needed. These are mailers and pop buys that are really getting that additional touch. January, I'm going to go through these because these are great. And so the idea is too, you can set these up as smart plans to remind you to do this. So you don't have to be remembering what's on here. I'm going to show you how to set up in a smart plan to remind you. All right, so mailer. So, right, January, that's a popular time. Any of your clients that sold the last year, they probably need their closing disclosure for their taxes this year. So reaching out to all past clients, whether that's printing out their closing disclosure and going by their house or just putting it on the front step, you know, that pop buy. So the idea of pop buys, you guys have probably heard the term quite a bit. Pop buys, the idea is for you to actually knock on their door and see them for a second and then leave. I mean, hence the name. However, I know a lot of agents feel like they're imposing if they don't like it when people knock on their door, so they don't want to knock, so they'll leave it on the front step. That's fine. Less effective though. So if you are, let's say, going around, I have heard the strategy, let's say you go and knock on their door so that they know that you're not there to stay and like come in for a chat. They recommended leaving your door of your car open and the car running. So that shows them, hey, I just was in the neighborhood and I wanted to give you this because, you know, you mean so much to me, your support in my business. You know, I just wanted to give this to you. I'm on the right way. So that gives you an excuse to go back because people don't want you to come into their house. And then they really won't want you in their house. Yeah.
Actually bringing it rather than, when I do that, I use, in your room or in your doctor's.
Yes, and you absolutely can. You're exactly right. So what she said is exactly correct because you can do this from command, and I'm happy to show you guys. You can, with a click of a button, you can send your client all their paperwork and the opportunity. That's great. That's helpful. You touch them maybe digitally via email because you talked about it. Right. How much more of a connection are you going to draw showing up to their house, being like, yeah, I really appreciated you last year. Here's everything you need for your taxes. I know it's everywhere, so I just wanted to help. Right.
Thinking about you. Not, you know, I don't think you were, but I'm like, hey, I'll go with it. Like,
And that's a time when they're probably like, you know, my friend was looking to buy. Now that you're here randomly, you know, she just got a lot of new business from Popeye. Proof in the pudding. Who's counting, you know?
I was in the Popeye once a year, like at Christmas. Like the first year, I was always like busy with stuff. I did really good, and then I was like tracking this time of year. And so for these guys, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like they have all this cool stuff, and we're only using just a little bit of what they're, you know, hoping us to do. So can you imagine once we understand how to do all this stuff, we're gonna be like,
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
this last Popeye I did because of them. And all of a sudden, like, and I, you know, It's just a pop by and I just did some little thing that
Ooh.
I thought was cute.
It was cute. It was like little turtle.
So they can hear.
Costco's, and I think what, $15? I mean, it
Yeah.
was so nice, like this turtle platter with
A
like
bowl
bowl
with
with
serving
tongs.
spoons. It was just kind of like a summery looking thing. And then on the front, I had a picture of a turtle and a saying that was kind of like, you know, how do you, kind of like the personality of a I don't know, sounds kind of weird, but it was kind of cute, something related to like, you know, the service I provide. But I tell you, I got, you know, I fired. So I did like about 30. Wow.
The question for you, those of you online, of how many pop buys was she able to deliver? And she said 30.
And then, like Christmas time, did a 12 wine days of Christmas, a box of little mini wine bottles. And like, and I wrote on the tag, cheers to you. And thank you so much. Because I do, I really appreciate people. And so, and I delivered them in my convertible with the red bags, you know, and I was like,
And she got business off of
I
it.
did, and I got Christmas cookies.
Even better than
I know.
business.
I love
Cookies.
delivery.
Oh,
Like,
right. Yeah. And to that question of how many are you able to do? Yeah. 30 is probably the top. I mean, if you're going to realistically be driving around, right, and delivering it, the idea is, so if you have a top 100, let's say, breaking that down into, okay, well, you know, let's say 3 groups of 30, right? Then you can do a pop by each quarter to that 30, right? So you can be touching your entire to a different 30, or right, or you know, making it so, yeah, depending on how you set up your plan, you can get reminders so that you are reaching your top sphere, but reaching more of them each quarter. And now, as far as how many people you want to be putting on your VIP list, the recommendation is the top 10 to 20% of your database. So depending on how many contacts you have, that'll look different for each person. But really, your goal, and I'll show you, of course, how to do this. Go and tag. One of the biggest things for your pop buys and call reminders. This is where your top sphere comes in. You're going to want to go into your database and be tagging VIP or whatever that tag is for that top 50. And you just have to do it one time. You know, it's annoying that one time, but then it's done and you can really effectively, and that should be your past clients. And then people that you have meaningful relationships with to really grow. If that you had an exchange about real estate with, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, it's just those people that you don't know from high school 20 years ago. It's more people that are in your sphere that will be giving you referrals, right? And as far as those pop buy ideas as well, the recommended dollar amount for each pop buy is about $8 to $10. So of course that can fluctuate depending on what your budget is and the amount of people that you're, you know, delivering to. But if you go on Amazon, so this is what we did, and search, let's say, a theme. So I tried to think of like a cool theme for the month. Right, and it's not necessarily impressive, but let's say February is a heart-shaped box of chocolates. I went on Amazon and searched that, and you can order in bulk, like 30 boxes. And I think I have that hyperlinked here for any of you online, actually, or have this. Oh, this was a more expensive one. So I'll link the one that we actually found. I found one for $8 to $10. And so that I was able, it would come to me in bulk in the office. Let's say I got some cellophane. Is that the clear?
Yeah.
The most pointless wrapping paper ever because it's clear. So let's, yes, it is. Right. So like, what does that look like if you got, you know, $8 to $10 a box, it came in, you wrapped some cellophane on it and you went and delivered that to them, right? Maybe even putting a cute, corny note like you and your referrals are the heart of my business kind of deal, right? So that is kind of your thought pattern with what we're going to try to plan here, right? I want you to try to think of either a mailer or a pop by idea for each month. And now we can just go through mine and that's totally fine for you guys to start thinking about it. But even if you don't do it, I would love for it to be on your marketing plan so that, okay, I do have a little more time. I do need more business. What's the most effective way to get business? Pop buys, not Facebook ads, right? You can run Facebook ads all day and that's great. You can actually get a solid amount of leads. Can you convert those leads? Or a whole different question, right? Pop buys are the most effective way. Yeah, way more time consuming than a Facebook ad. I do want to acknowledge that. However, probably the most meaningful thing you can do for your database to generate referrals. Now with a mailer too, so it doesn't have to be that you have to be going to their mail or to their physical door every day or every month. You can also do mailers, so you can send postcards out of command directly to their mailbox. So what would it look like too if you invited an entire neighborhood, let's say you farm Somerset as a neighborhood, and you have a photographer you have a relationship with, and you're like, hey, photographer, I'm going to pay you for 3 hours to come to Somerset in the middle of their common area, and I'm going to invite the neighborhood to come take family photos. And so you pay for the photographer, they come, they take the family photos. Well, you have to get their contact information if you want to send them, right? The photos. And then even better, you could print it out, frame it, and go hand deliver it to them that next month, right? So just an idea for an event idea that isn't necessarily crazy. Hiring a professional photographer and then inviting, even if it's just your sphere, your top 30, to come have professional photos. People love having professional photos of their family. And then they frame it and put them in their house. And then every time they're like, oh, what a pretty photo. Remember that realtor did that for us all for free? And so you're like reminded through like an amazing moment with their family, right? So just an idea. This is, of course, that next level, right? These items that I'm talking about. So don't feel like you have to or your business is going to fail. That is not it at all. These are ideas that I want you to be putting into your marketing plan. And then we're going to figure out how we can reach that goal, okay? And how we can mix this into your business in a doable way. So I haven't told you the how yet, so please don't get overwhelmed yet, okay? Because I will be walking you through this more. All right, so right now we're just, yeah. Yeah. Here, take it.
Part about the paper, I like to get out and do and like
Right.
actually, face to face, go talk to people, and I love that.
Right.
And it energizes me and makes me want to do more.
Right. And
That makes sense.
That-
Yeah.
that's fun. Field trip.
Exactly. Because it keeps me motivated.
Right.
And you know how good it feels to give a present,
Oh,
so
yeah.
then, you feel good at the end of that day.
So
when
true.
you get some or not, like she said, it'll remind them, oh, hey, I do know somebody that needs to buy, you put it back on top of mind.
And then I take a picture on their porch. So if they're not there, I'm like, hey, I just stopped by.
That's a good
And
idea.
so then I got more kids. And then this turtle hole, their kid, that was his favorite toy. And they're taking pictures of him with his ball. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
And see, then they post it on their social media and tag you, right? Free publicity. Yeah. And two, people want to work with someone, like they're selling their biggest asset. This is a very personal time in their life. They want to work with someone who truly feels like they care about their life. And so coming there and giving them that present, I mean, that's giving them a personal relationship, right? That's what they want, right? And two, I know like someone made this point to me, like, okay, yeah, I used a really great handyman to put in our door like a year ago. If someone asked me tomorrow, do you have someone you could recommend to put in my door? Would I necessarily remember them? Because like, yeah, they did a good job, but that was like 2 years ago. I haven't heard from them since, right? I would probably just Google it, right? So, staying on top of their mind, that really does matter. If not, yeah, they'll probably just Google it if someone asks, right? Any other comments from the peanut gallery? All right. You used to always say that to me growing up. I don't even know what it means, so don't fact check me or anything. Things like that. So true. That's a great recommendation. I think you guys should go through, read all the pop buys on that list, circle one, and that's going to be what you're going to do next year. All right. And it's themed by the month. So like, so just so you know what you're getting into. So like April, yeah, it's a cute little umbrella and sunflower seeds because April showers bring May flowers, right? Little things like that have to do with another idea for an event. And again, events are a little next level, but I want to give you guys ideas of manageable events, not like throwing a whole event where you have to pay for everything and cater. What if you did a back to school drive? Okay. So what if you got a bunch of brown paper bags and stapled a list of the things that you're collecting for a local school, and you dropped it off, you door knocked the neighborhood to hand it out, right? You're touching them, and wow, that's really great. You're helping the community. What a caring realtor, right? So you're getting that touch where you have to knock and drop it off, explain what you're doing, or just leave it there. And then 2 months or a month later, you can let them know, hey, on the 15th of next month, I'm going to come by and grab it. If you'd like to just leave it on your front door, I'll grab it then. Hey, can I get your contact information so I can shoot you a text reminder that I'll be coming the next day, or your email, So it's a great way to get it. And again, all you're doing is being involved in the community. And I mean, that's how you can get their contact information. That's providing them the value, right? That they want to give you the contact information for. So that's another cool idea. Again, I know that's a little next level, but I mean, it's another way to do a pop by and allow you to door knock with something to provide them. Yeah,
Another suggestion that
please.
I haven't done myself, but I've been wanting to, it's all about thinking about doing something, and actually doing it. But you can call HOA of any neighborhood and see if they're sponsoring a garage sale. And then like there was a certain realtor in my neighborhood that, hey, she paid for a newspaper ad or whatever it may be. And then she came around during the garage sale with her name tag and everybody knew that she was the one that sponsored it.
I love that.
You know, I'll do something like that, actually, this Friday. The only problem is they didn't tell me with enough time when it was, so I have another commitment, but I offered to sponsor. They're doing like the close of the pool.
Yes.
And I'm bringing them chips like individually packed. So I had made, my business, kind of like, it looks like a business card with all my information. It says compliment of, and then staple it to the bag. That's
Love
my
it.
plan. Only problem I have is I can't be there.
Oh.
So they'll get the bag, but I committed already. so I
Right.
can't let them get it.
Right.
So
They
I'm
still
hoping-
have
Yeah, it's something.
cards going around.
Hmm.
I know.
But of course,
Um,
talking to you. Right. People just need to talk to you, and who wouldn't listen with you,
So,
All right, guys. So this gives you an idea. Of course, you can come back to this. I would like you to just kind of identify, okay, what even on this list is something that you want to actually implement. So if later on that looks like going through and highlighting the ideas you actually like, and then brainstorming different ones, that's great. All right, where I want to take you to next is the calendar, so you can see kind of what that looks like on a month basis. Okay, and this is on, if you want to pull this up, I did pass it out in class. If you're online, this is JuLeahDesigns.com under Tech Corner and Tech Class Schedule. It's the calendar. If you need slower instructions, just let me know. I can walk that through again. All right, so this is going to show you how this will kind of look on a month basis, right? Because I said a lot of words and that got a little overwhelming. So I find that it's easier to be able to conceptualize it or visualize it if it's on a calendar, okay? And so this calendar, this calendar, anyone else need a calendar? This calendar can be added essentially as a smart plan in your command account so that you don't have to be thinking of these things. Yeah, you guys have all this done. So, this gives you, and it's just like an example month of how this could look, right? But let's say on the first day of the month, we get a reminder to go write all of our handwritten notes for the month. And that would be anyone who has birthdays and anniversaries, okay? And I can show you how, I'll walk you through how we go through and actually find that list. Anyone have a pen? Can I borrow your pen real quick? All right, and then, right, so you'll see that we have social posts. We'll start in social posts, right? 2 days a week, right? So whether that's around Tuesday and around Friday, right? We have 2 emails a month, right? So the emails are right here on the Wednesdays. And again, don't think like it has to be on that day. It doesn't at all, right? But this gives you an idea, like the value add email that on the 16th, right? That's where we're purely providing value because the infographic of the stats for the next month doesn't come out until like the 17th, like this week here. So usually we do that value add email the second week, and then the call to action email the last week, okay? So we have 2 emails. We have 6 social posts-ish, or 8, counting, sorry, right? And then you can see some other things that are mixed in. So the calls, I know they're all on Mondays right now, like on the actual calendar, but once we set up the quarterly call plan, that will remind you every work day, so business day, Monday through Friday, that you should call 3 people each day in your sphere, okay? And we'll be setting that up. So that'll actually be Monday through Friday for your calls to remind you. And then if you want to make it a goal in each of your months to do maybe 1 mailer a month or 1 Facebook ad, of course, that's optional because it also costs, right? Everything else we've talked about is, free on this as far as marketing goes. And then lastly, adding a time for video marketing in your month is also valuable, okay? So we're gonna now talk about how to actually implement this into command, but let's take a 5-minute break first. So let's meet back at do like let's do 1:55. Okay, so let's meet back in 10 minutes, and I'm going to show you the how now of how we're actually going to take all this, implement it into command, so we don't have to be thinking about this. This shouldn't be the first thing on your mental load. That's all of your clients, right? This should be something that you get a reminder of and you do it, but you don't have to think about it. Okay. All right, so 10 minutes, around 55, 1:55, we'll meet back.
can see y'all over there.
Yeah, we were doing some, yeah.
All right, let's.
No.
No. Yeah, well, because we actually, so the first half of class, we did like planning for like the content and the marketing plan.
Okay.
We're now going to go through how to actually use command now to implement things. So it's like a brand new class for you to come into. It's good timing. All righty, friends. Yeah. Is that a song or did you just make it a song? Sure.
Okay, so we can do the social posting through
Mm-hmm.
Command, right?
Mm-hmm.
But posting through Canva, or no? Schedule.
No, you can't schedule it out. I want to say like in Canva, you can click like share to Facebook and it will bring up Facebook for you to post it. Have you tried that? But I don't think it schedules it. Yeah, Canva is great for design, but then scheduling it is what command has.
So you can't schedule.
No. Yes, that's the feature of command. I know. Moving things the smallest bit this way. Yeah, it really does. Right.
So let's, send like the digital, card or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It was on MLS or RPO, I wanted to know. And I was able to, put like my name, I was like, contact the Boyd Real Estate needs, and I put my name, and it was like, it blinked, my name was like blinking, and I had,
Ooh.
it was like a nice script, and I had people commenting on Facebook, oh, that's beautiful.
Where did you make that? The MLS?
It wasn't
Ooh.
Canva because I was looking for it again,
Uh-huh.
or it might have been.
RPR, what's that again?
Really?
I think you
saw it?
said this last time. And it's a
Okay,
part.
property.
And it's a part of the MLS, like it's a tool that you get with the MLS. Very cool. I see.
It's some command that I did it, 'cause I went to.
Probably
Yeah, it was
Command.
command, 'cause I did
Yeah,
design.
not RPO.
Command,
Uh-huh.
I did design.
It has to be-
Nice.
Yeah,
Way to
I know,
go.
and it's-
Oh, command. Canva. Yeah.
But then again, you go back. It takes.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about ways that we can decrease that time. All right. So I am logging into command. If you are following along, let's go to agent.kw.com. And in this part of class, right, I'll be showing you the how we can implement this plan and use the tech tools in command to make this an efficient and doable plan. All right, and the first thing that we need to talk about are your contacts, right? As I mentioned, right, as far as like email marketing, great, that can go to all your contacts. But when it comes to pop buys or your call reminders, right, that quarterly call plan, we want to identify that top 10 to 20% of your database. If that is 10 people right now, that is fine, okay? If that's 30, if that's 50, if it's 100, I want it to be your goal. I'm going to show you how we can go into your contacts and start tagging them so you can get a start on that. So again, I'm in command at agent.kw.com, and I'm going to click on the contacts applet, second one down on the left-hand side menu. And just a note, if you hover your mouse on any one of these applets, it tells you what it does, right? So we're in the contacts tab. All right, so let's talk about tagging your contacts. So first of all, it really helps when you can see more than 10 contacts at a time on your page. So you can see up to 500 at a time, where it says show 1 through 10 on the right-hand side. Let's change that to show 1 through 500. Okay, so what this does is it allows you to be able to like bulk action more contacts at a time. So like apply a tag to more than just 10 contacts at a time. So again, on the top right, it typically defaults to show 1 through 10. So let's change that to 1 through 500. Okay, and then at this time, right, going through and we want to identify your past clients should be in your VIP list. Okay, and anyone that's in your close sphere, right, that you want to be reaching out to. So let's talk about the first how, and then I'll let you take some time to go ahead and work on this. So first of all, let's go ahead, scroll on your database, see if you can just even find like 1 or 2 on your list and check the check marks to the left of it. If you find 1 or 2 people on your list that would be in the VIP tag, and make sure you check the checkbox to the left of it. Yeah. No, please.
Tag just past clients or referral people that may not have been your client but are referral.
Yes, so that's more the goal. So realistically, you would have a 1 past client tag for all your past clients, and that's great. But so if you want to start there, that's great too. So great point Fatima brought up for those of you online. If past clients should be in your VIP list. I would say that more than just your past clients should be in there, but if your starting point maybe should be to tag your past clients first, you can add the past clients tag or the VIP tag, right, as we go along. So once you check the check boxes, so you have to check the check boxes to even see the select bulk action menu. Okay, so if you don't see this menu, that's just because you don't have anything checked. Okay, so you check the check boxes, click select bulk action, and click add tags. Yes, sir. No. Great. So you click the check boxes to the left, right? And then, so once you click the check boxes, then you'll have this drop down menu right here, but this won't come up until after you check things. So click there, and it's like the 3rd one down here for adding tags. And I'll say this again so you guys can like write down notes if you'd like. So at this time, we can go ahead and either search the tag. So if we already have past clients in there, for example, you can go ahead and select that, or we could go ahead and create the tag, right? So if you don't already have it in there, like if I'm doing VIP, okay, I'm going to type in VIP and click create tag. When I do that, it'll take me over to select which color I would like the tag to be. And that's just visually, so you can easily see that from your database. So whichever color, say I want it green for money, and click create tag. And again, I will walk you through those steps again in case you missed that or want to write it down. So once I click create tag, I think it makes me just like select it one more time, or it's already selected rather. So I can see that 1 is selected here, and you could do multiple at once. If this was a past client and a VIP, you can select both those tags and click add selected. No, please. Mm-hmm. That'll be in the settings. So I'll show you that, how to delete them. No, you're fine. It's a really good question, right? Because it gets all like, yeah, there's so many in there. It's not even helpful anymore at that point. So right now, yeah, create the tag if you need to, and then click add selected. And just a heads up, when you do click add selected, oh, good, it refreshed, so maybe it'll add it. Sometimes I have to refresh my page to see it, but no, they fixed it. Great. So now, well, it's running off here, but I have that tag added for that VIP. Right.
Multiple tags, so they're sending out let's say past client, you setting them up on which auto.
Yeah, so for this is just for who do you want to call, right? And who do you want to do pop buys for? So
It's not tagged the auto.
correct. So those emails, I would say go to everyone, right? Because it doesn't matter. However, pop buys, that's money. So it does matter how many, and then calls are time consuming. Yeah, those are really the only reasons they matter, right? Is who do you want to spend time actually calling? Time is money. So that's why it matters if you pick, 300 people, what's something doable. So calls and pop buys and money there, and time for that matter. All right, so we're going through, and yeah, and then you can search. So I would like you guys to spend some time going through and finding some of them. And I'm going to show you those steps too, again, if you'd like to see how to tag. And I'm going to show you how you can filter by tag too. So if you would like to watch me, or if you'd like to go through and tag your database to take some time here, feel free. Hey, if you're writing down the steps, I'm going to show you that again, how to tag your contacts. All right, so first of all, right, I always recommend clicking show 1 through 10 to show 1 through 500. The next step is I click the check boxes to the left of the names of the clients or contacts I would like to be a VIP. Basically, just I want to give a pop by or give a call to. Once I select the check boxes, remember this bulk action menu, you'll notice if I uncheck things, that bulk action menu is not there at all. It's just a little confusing. So I just want to bring that up. But you do have to check things, and then you can click select bulk action. To click add tags. You can select the tag from the list and click add selected. All right, now I'm going to show you how to filter by tag and then delete excess tags if you don't want them. But again, if you don't care about either of those two things, just keep working on tagging your database because that's one of the most productive things you can do and the most painful things you can do. But all right, so how we search by tag now. Okay, once you have them tagged, this filters option up here, I'm going to show you two things. Filters will allow you to search, and then Smart View will allow you to save that search as a default. So you can click one button to access that search again. So first of all, for example, filters here. So this is where I can filter by tag right here, right? And this comes hugely, hugely helpful when you send an email out through command as well. So this is where I would search by that tag. And just click apply. Okay. And it will pull up the contacts that I have tagged that VIP, right? Yeah.
Sometimes when you tag multiple people, everybody's email comes up on.
Like if you send an email. Good question. No, it'll always be BCC'd. So it'll look like they're the only one receiving the email. Good question. Okay, so now let's say, well, I want to create a smart view, right? That's what this is right here. A smart view of this search, right? So I can click one button and all my VIPs appear, right? Okay, so that would look like, so first I do the search. So first I clicked filters, right? And I searched by the tag VIP. If anyone needs to see that again, please just let me know. And I applied. So once I do whatever the search is I want to save, that's what a smart view is. It's essentially just like a save search for your contacts. So where it says smart view, then I would, let's say, create smart view. And I can name it VIPs. VIP. And I can set that as the default. So like if I want to, every time I come into command, I just want to see my VIPs. I usually have it default to all of my contacts, but just so you know, that's an option. And then you can click Save Smart View. So what that will mean for you next time that you come in is next time that you're looking at your contacts and it shows you all of your contacts, you can just simply click this checkbox to switch to that VIP list. Does that make sense what that feature does? Because I really like that feature. Did you filter first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll show that next.
Apply.
Great.
And then here.
Let's just do create smart view again. I can get rid of the other one. I want to do VIP all cap or something. Are those aren't your wait, did you they are? Oh, it's because you're yeah, so click customize columns. Great. This is good for everyone to know. Okay, yeah, Fatima brought up a great point. She couldn't see her tags. So just a heads up, in case your columns aren't in an order you would like them to be, you can customize the columns, which I love. So if you click customize columns, it will allow you to move this around. So first of all, it'll show you which items will show on the main page, right? And then you can change that. And then this shows you the order of it. So like if you wanted to move like tags to be first or last contacted, etc., you can move this around. And again, this is just moving what you're seeing right here on like a preview without having to click on their name. Yeah, no problem. All right, last thing I'm going to show you about tags is how to delete tags. So if you have a bunch of excess tags in there, how you can delete them. But again, if you don't care about that, feel free to continue tagging your contacts VIP. Okay, so this is deleting tags. I can't remember though, what I can't remember is if you have to get rid, like, do your contacts have the tag on it that you want to delete? Like, so if there's, gotcha. If any contacts have that tag, it won't let you erase it from my memory unless they've changed that. However, if no contacts have the tag, it won't be a problem. So I'll show you either way. All right, so to delete tags, click your name on the top right. And this is just to go to the tag settings, right? So this is creating tags, editing them, if you want to change the name of one. So your name on the top right, and then settings from that drop down. And once that loads, on the left-hand side, we are clicking on command settings and contacts. And then contact tags, and I'll say that again. Okay, so again, those steps to get to the actual contact tags, to like edit them, delete them, etc. Click your name on the top right of command. Step 2, settings from that drop down. Step 3 is command settings on the left-hand side. And this is what it'll look like. And then just the contacts for the contact tags. All right, so this is where you can go through and delete any tags or edit them. How crazy is that though? Because I'm trying to I'm trying to remember if they have the option to bulk untag. I think they rolled that out because it used to be where you had to untag one at a time. So if you want to delete, anyway, how about make an appointment and we'll work on this with Jules too. Okay. I'm sorry, this sounds painful. Okay, great. Yeah, Jules is the contact master. She was the contact master at Scott Lawrie Marketing for like 6 years. So any contacts questions, Jules your girl. But I'm Leah, just in case that's not clear. People call me Jules all the time, or JuLeah, you know. JuLeah, well, it's really confusing. You know, I'm Leah, this is Jules, but our company name is both of our names, JuLeah. Good luck remembering that. So I'll respond to any of them, but just don't ask me questions about contacts, because that's the other one. Okay, so in the very least, if you are not done tagging your contacts as VIP, that is the one thing I want you to take out of this class. That's the one thing I want you to actually put on your homework to tag your VIPs if you do nothing else, okay? Now, so the second thing I want to talk about, and then again, if you need steps on any of that, like if you want a quick video on how to do tags when you get home, again, just jot down little things you would like tutorials on. I have 10-minute videos on everything you can think of. Everything I just showed you, I have a video on separately. All right, so now what we're going to talk about is how to automate this system without having to be constantly checking that calendar, right? And then going to do it. Let's figure out how to automate that process with smart plans in command. Okay, so smart plans, that's the fourth icon down on the left-hand side menu. Okay, and if you want to do what I just did, if you click the KW logo on the top left, I love that it pans it out so I can actually read what the section is. So if you would like to do that, just click on the KW logo top left, and we're clicking smart plans. Okay, and if you're wondering what the heck a smart plan is, good question. All right, smart plans are a way to automate your systems. So yes, smart plans can send out automated emails, right? That's part of it. So that's similar to an email campaign. However, it goes a step above and beyond that. It'll send, if you want it to, automated text messages. It'll create automated to-do list reminders, call reminders, right? It'll remind you to keep on your marketing system so you don't have to be actually thinking about it ever, right? That should be your goal, is you don't have to think about your marketing. Anytime you have to do something, you get a reminder, and that's when you do it. Other than that, it is off your mental load, okay? So let's start with that. We're going to start in small steps for this, okay? Let's start with the quarterly call plan, okay? So what we're going to do, there's a couple plans that we'll pull over from the library. You might already have them, but just if you'd like to follow along, I'm going over to library. So I'm in the smart plans tab of command. And the library is where a bunch of default smart plans are created by other agents. Or if you scroll down slightly, you'll see the Keller Williams provided smart plans. Okay. The ones that I would recommend adding. All right, so where it says see all on the right-hand side, that arrow, if you want to click the arrow on the right-hand side of the Keller Williams section, it'll pan to the next section where I would recommend adding the birthday smart plan. Okay, so if you don't already have that, you can click on add smart plan. and it'll have like my birthday, and you might already have the My Birthday Smart Plan. If so, I don't believe it'll allow you to download it. So you're good. So if it does this, like it doesn't let you download it, you already have it. Okay. So we're getting the Birthday Smart Plan. So that will send you a reminder 7 days before their birthday. And then you can, there's JuLeah, which we'll talk about. That's an automated text message that it would text your client happy birthday. But if you don't have that, it just will skip that. Good question. So yes. So for the birthday and anniversary is on the next page. I'm going to have you add as well. You're right. It's only as good as your contact database is. So birthdays, however, and anniversaries, I mean, they're really valuable touch because it's a very personal day to them, right? And like, wow, you remembered my birthday? Wow, like my own daughter doesn't remember my birthday kind of thing, right? So, you know, having a system that does that. However, like my mom was saying, you do need their birthdays in command. So that takes, hey, how are you? A little bit of manual labor of going to Facebook is what I would recommend. Go to Facebook and you can actually search all the birthdays from one page. So too, if you want to know how to do that, if you could just write that down and send it in the email. I just would have to, Joel does it. So. Yeah, so because like before we were going, and I can see if I can figure it out. We were going to each individual person's profile, clicking about, and looking at their birthday. So you can actually do it based on like the month. Joel's is logged in. Excellent. Yeah. This is a Joel's thing, so I might have to just email you the steps too. But the idea is on the left-hand side, maybe it's your friends. Let's see. Friends, birthdays. Yes, okay. So on the left-hand side, you should have a shortcut for friends under your Facebook. And then you have birthdays. And then it shows you per month. So it doesn't show you like all the contacts, you know, that you're with and their birthdays. So it's not that great and exciting. However, still really exciting because if you scroll down here, right, this is normal, we know this. If you scroll down, this is where it gets exciting. Here's November. Here are all my friends in November having a birthday. And if I hover over it, it tells me what the date is. See, I can see that it's November 2nd. So now that action item would be, I have command open here. I know, right? So we have command open, let's say. We try to find the easiest way to do everything. Let me show you now how you would actually put it into command so you guys can see the full spectrum here. All right, so how it would look is, you know, when you're actually going through this, and again, this is something that's painful, but really, really worth your time, you know, to get those birthdays in here because they'll be getting these automated handwritten notes and text messages if you want to set that up. I'll talk more about that. Yeah, good try. Good try. Right. As fun as that sounds. So what I would do here, so let's say I have my contacts open and I have my Facebook open in 2 tabs is what I would recommend. So let's say I see this first person. Okay, great. They're in my database or I put them in. I'm going to pull up their contact record. Okay. The pencil icon will allow me to edit that. So now it's on the bottom kind of, you have to click on add more information. So again, I clicked the pencil icon, it brought this back up and under add more information. I know, sorry, I'll show you again. I have to find it anyway. I think it's under about. Yes. Okay, these are the steps if you'd like to write it down. So let's say, I'm gonna start over. So I am in command now. Okay, so let's say we have the birthday tab open and then we have your database open in 2 tabs. That's how you'd set up. So then now we found what one of the birthdays are. So I'm going to go ahead and go to their contact record in command, right? Because I need to add their birthday in. That's what we're doing. Yeah, I'm just really editing it to add the birthday. But the birthday's kind of hidden, so I do want to show you where it is. So if you want to write notes. So pencil icon, right, is how you edit. You'll see that pencil icon a lot in command. No, that means edit. The birthday, though, just so you know, you have to click add more information and then additional contact information to find that birthday field. And it oh, I lied to you. I'm sorry. Not additional contact information. It's under about. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So again, those steps are click the pencil icon, Okay, cool. Click add more information and then about. That's where I lied. Add more information, then about, and that's where you have the birthday. And again, this is something that you have to do one time, and while it's painful, then it's done. And you have a great way a reason to be touching your contacts, Now, while we're on this topic, I do want to talk about Twilio just real quick, and that is the automated text messaging through command, right? It's a part of smart plans. However, you do not need to use it. So if you see a smart plan that has a text messaging step and you don't have Twilio, it'll just skip over it. So just know that you can still use smart plans. However, okay, what Twilio is, right? It's not a free service. It is a paid service, but it's pretty nominal costing, and it allows you to bulk text your contacts. So that would look like on their birthday, if you had Twilio, they would get a text on their birthday that says happy birthday or whatever that you want to do. Now, some things on that. First of all, it's not free, like I mentioned. However, the first package is $3.16. And like it's pretty nominal cost. Like it's like 0.001 cent per text message. So as far as trying it out, I would recommend it personally. Now I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons here, so you guys know. I would recommend it because me personally, I don't check my personal email. I barely check Facebook, right? But the one way people can get in touch with me, if they text me, I'll open it. Even if it's like, a spammy one, I still open it and read it, right? Because I don't want the notification on my phone. So that is the best way for maybe me and my generation to like calling a millennial might cause them to panic, right? So like depending on what age range they are, some people love calls, right? Some people love to talk on the phone. For me, if a random number calls me, my anxiety goes up. I don't even listen to the voicemail for days because I can't even handle it. And that's a whole, like, I know that sounds super silly, but when we grew up with texting constantly, well, guess what? That is our go-to channel. So while calls might be really effective to, let's say, 50 and older, text messaging might be way more effective for 30, 30, 35, so who likes it? All right. So see, all right. Same. I will not answer a random number, even if there's a fire. Like you will not get me on the phone. Just saying, if I'm like this, there's gotta be more people like this, right? So just saying Twilio can be really beneficial because I would open it. The con that I just want to bring up, it's not really a con, you just need to know that you need to manage it, is this is not sending from your personal phone number, okay? So this phone number, if you've used like Uber Eats or Shipt or anything like that, and you get text messages from that driver, right? They're texting from a number that's not their own, right? So this is something that most businesses are using, so people are kind of used to that. And how you just get around it, usually like the first text you send out, you say something like, hey, this is so-and-so. I just want to introduce my texting line to you. I'll be texting you valuable updates about this just to let you know, right? Introducing yourself, or then also just signing the text messages with your name on it too, so they know who it is. Things like that, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it does. You're right. Yeah, I definitely see that. It doesn't come off as personal from that, but maybe it makes them feel more in control about the text messages. Because I know, like, I don't know, I like having that option. So maybe it makes them feel like it's their option to stick around for the value. But I agree. That's a really good idea. So take his recommendation. So yeah, the happy birthday text probably shouldn't be the first text that you send, right? So you avoid that because that really won't look personal. But I agree. Sending that intro text, well, then that's kind of expected then at that point, right?
Go after that. Oh, then. Okay.
And then at that point, in theory, they'd add it to their address book because they know you introduce yourself, right? And so, yeah, I mean, little things like that, as you can see, it's like a con, but if you just really figure out the strategy behind it, it's not really, So if you're interested about that, I do have videos on how to set up Twilio. If you can write that down, I'll shoot it to you in an email. It is optional. So just so you know, you do not have to start with that at all. If you do use Twilio, all correspondence, though, are from command. So you would text from command. You see their views from command on the timeline. So it's like not in your text messaging. Mhm.
JuLeah?
It would show. Yeah.
Hey, quick question. So if you
Yeah.
use Twilio, let's say you send a text message out via Twilio because it's going to give you a different number.
Right.
What happens if your contact calls that number back?
Very, very good question. So you can set up call forwarding for that to actually forward over. If you don't mind jotting down a note, I'll send you that video on how to set up call forwarding. So if they call that number, it will forward to your personal cell phone, but you do have to set that up. And I think if they call it like uses like a couple credits or something is the only other thing. But very great question. If you don't mind just emailing me about that, contact@juliadesigns.com, and I'll send you the video.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'll put my email in the chat too, if you're online and want anything that I'm talking about, shoot me an email, just list those things, I'll send it right over. Okay, so let's go now and set up those call plans, right? The quarterly call plan and anniversary plan, okay? So I'm going back to Smart Plans. I'm going back to Smart Plans, okay? And that's that fourth icon on the left-hand side. And we are in the library, okay? Because we're going to grab 3 smart plans: anniversary, birthday, and quarterly call plan. So I'm going over to library, and please just let me know if I lose anyone. I know I'm speeding through a couple parts, so I'm happy to reverse. So in smart plans, we're scrolling down to the Keller Williams section. And where we have those arrows, let's go to the next page. So the 3 we're going to add are birthdays, right? And we just talked about how, yeah, that's a great smart plan. Doesn't work unless you have birthdays, obviously, in there. However, let's go ahead and add it so that as you add birthdays, right, you'll be receiving those reminders. All right, the second 2, let's go to the last page here. So the arrow one more time. And let's get the home anniversary one. Where do we call plan go? There it is. All right, so the 3 quarterly call plan was on the first page. Sorry, so there's 3 pages of this little arrow here. So quarterly call plan, let's click add smart plan here. And again, so what that's going to do is it's going to remind you to call that top 30, top 50 each quarter, depending on how many people you think you can call per day, okay? So the 3 we're adding here, and I'll show you how to stagger that because that you have to do something to stagger that. So I'll show you that. So quarterly call plan, let's add, click add smart plan. We're adding the birthday smart plan and the anniversary. And if you click add smart plan and the download is grayed out, it just means you already have it. Okay. So once you download those smart plans, we're going to go back to my smart plan. So on the top white toolbar, where it says my smart plans, let's click on that. All right, and let's talk about the quarterly call plan first. So if you want to scroll to find that quarterly call plan. All right, so what we're going to do, so this is going to give you reminders to call your sphere, right? So what we're going to do, where it says quarterly call plan here, we can come on over to the far right and click add contact. So to the far right of the smart plan, so by default, this is off. So if you want to just leave it off, that's fine. Just a heads up, your contacts won't receive anything. If you activate this plan today, you'll just start getting reminders to call your sphere. So I'm clicking add contact. And then I'll show you how to best strategically call your sphere from your Command mobile app, because it makes it really easy if you do it right from the app. Okay, so at this point, right, so I clicked on under actions to add contacts. And this is where I'm going to search by tags, right? So I'm going to search for that VIP tag, right? So if I search for that VIP tag and select it, right, it's going to give me only my VIP clients that I can click to select all to add to that smart plan. Okay, so I know that was a little quick, so I'm going to walk you through those steps one more time here. So to add contacts to the smart plan, and again, the quarterly call plan, it won't contact your contacts at all. It's just going to remind you to call them. Click actions, that add contacts icon on the right-hand side of your smart plan name. Then we're going to search by tags. So we'll click on tags here to search VIP or whatever you're naming your top contacts. So we select them, and then I click select all to select everyone. And then click add to smart plan. And this is where a couple of extra steps here that you really need to know. So first of all, it'll let you know if you don't have the required information for the smart plan. Like if you add a birthday, if you add all your contacts to the birthday anniversary smart plan and they don't have a birthday, you'll get an error here that says it's missing a birthday, right? If you click add to plan anyway at this time, then when you go back and add your birthdays, well, then they'll already be on the plan to get that email or get the notifications, right? So I would recommend, even if it shows that it's missing things, let's go ahead and add them anyway. I mean, totally up to you, especially for the quarterly call plan. If they don't have a phone number, maybe at that time we want to skip that, right? Great, that's the next page. And that's a really, that's a really important part. So if you didn't get any errors, that means all of your contacts were good. So this is the really important part of the quarterly call plan specifically, okay? So quarterly call plan, if we click start all now, or the first 1 or 2 options, and we put 50 people on the quarterly call plan, guess what? We're gonna get 50 notifications to call 50 people, right? That's not what we want. We want it staggered, okay? So that third option down is allowing you to stagger the contacts. So how many contacts do you think you could really call a day? Is that 3? Is it 5? What's that number? All right, and that's what we're gonna wanna pick. This will make it so that you get 4 or 3 notifications of people to call each day. Right? And it'll do it each business day. The next day, you'll get another 3, 4, right? And it does it for you. And it goes all the way through all of your contacts each quarter. Now, I'm going to show you how to now finish the process on your Command mobile app questions, though, before on like setting up that smart plan. Hey, does everyone have the Command mobile app? Great. I'm proud. Let's go ahead and pull up the Command app on your phone. I'm going to show you some pointers on how to best do this. So just a heads up, in case you don't have the Command app or you don't have both apps on your phone. So there are 2 different mobile apps with KW. One is for your clients, okay? So one's for your clients to search homes. So if you go to your Google Play Store or Apple Store and just search KW, both will pull up. One's named Command, one's named KW. Let's see. Yeah, so there's 2. It's a red and a white one. You probably have them both. A red and a white one, both with a KW. One says Command, one says just like KW. So you know, yeah, cool. So if you want both of them, one's for your buyers and one is for you. The one that, so that's the Command app. And that's only for you. Whereas if you search your app store for KW, that white one, so that's the mobile search app. That's where your clients can have it on their phone. You can send them the app. It's branded to you so they can search on the go. They can be like out in Valentine Country Club next to a for sale home, pull it up on the app. And, yeah. Command use, it's a Command username and password. Okay, no,
Same as the.
You guys know and I
I
don't.
do know your password. Yes, sir. Why?
Why, what am I doing here?
My mom doesn't know how to log into Command because me and Joel. Yeah. I actually use that encouragement because I'll have agents who come in and they feel very overwhelmed with the technology and like their business is going to fail if they don't learn it. And that is not at all the case, right? This technology is an opportunity to do more than top agents in our office, right? You guys are killing it and not using this. Imagine the opportunity, right? If you use it. Yeah. So it's exciting. If you think of it more that way, I think it helps.
Wait, so we just want to hear the white one. Buy and sell, let's put those things.
Yeah, we're just not working on that right now. We're working on Command app. So if you can pull it.
But I thought-
I mean,
Well, I have that one. but
okay,
I
well,
just
I know.
log in.
It's your, if I whisper it to you, Mom, I'm on, you know, I'm on mic, right?
I don't-
Click login. Okay, so app, right. All right, so the point of the Command app, my favorite feature actually, is to allow you to make calls right from it. Yeah, I found it. Thanks, you knew though.
Okay, so I have the smart plan,
Mhm,
right? But apparently nobody's tagged, right?
Right, no one's on it. So let's click that contact. Yeah. And then search by tags, or I mean, when you have all your VIPs, you can search like tag. You have to like click tags though, and then search VIP here or whatever you made it. And then it'll pull up just those. Well,
Delete it from here. No,
mm,
because it's starting at yeah.
well, kind of, yeah, actually. So, but let's talk about that later, Mama Cakes. Okay. Yeah. This is why she doesn't learn how to log into command, because she just has a. Okay, so the command app. Hopefully we have that open. If you need help with that, let me know. One of my favorite features is it will show you your tasks for today. So especially since we started the quarterly call plan, so tomorrow, you can come on here and it will tell you due today, right? I can see which tasks I have due today on my home screen. That's the blue, orange, and red up top. And if you are watching online, I'll try to show my camera. That's kind of hard. Anyway, so you can click due today, and I realize your calls aren't showing up right now. However, what happens is you will be able to click on the contact from that list. If I can find you an example. So you can click on that contact from that list, and you can just go ahead and call them right from here. So I could press call, and when I hang up, as long as I click call from the app itself, right when I hang up, a pop-up will appear that says, did they answer? And what did you talk about? So then you can put it right in, and then it goes into the timeline of your contact record. Yeah, I'd always recommend it. This is probably one of my favorite features of the app. So again, what that looks like starting tomorrow, if you started that quarterly call plan, when you go onto the app, so make it a practice every morning, you'll get a push notification too from the app to let you know your to-do list minders each day. If you don't, let me know. It's just a phone setting I can toggle for you. But then you'll come in and you can see where it says due today, click, simply click the contact that's on the list. It'll start calling them. And then when you hang up, that's when it prompts you to put in the notes. So that's why it's so valuable to do it from the command app itself, so that you don't call them from your phone and then what you have to go into command separately to go find their contact to put it in, right? This streamlines your process. It logs it, yep. And then also once you're done, right, it pops right up saying, did they answer? Was it voicemail? What did you talk about? And so you can put in the notes and it puts it on the timeline so that you can always see. The next quarterly call you go, you can click on it to see, okay, what did I talk about last time? So you can follow up.
I have a quick question. I have a lot of, like Tom Turner unsubscribed from email, so it's probably he was in my contact and that want to get all my.
Mhm.
So when I go back to figure them all out, it'll automatically show me that he unsubscribed, right?
Yes, good question. So yeah, if anyone unsubscribes from your email, then command automatically takes them off of the email list. Now, when they unsubscribe, they have two options to either unsubscribe from that specific smart plan or to unsubscribe from all system emails. So just a heads up, they do have either option. So if a contact ever says, hey, I did unsubscribe and it's still sending me things, just so you guys know, they probably didn't unsubscribe from all. But the system does know. Once they unsubscribe, it saves that. No, you don't need to do anything. So just don't do anything. Yeah, just don't do anything. Like the system knows now that Tom Turner does not want your email and it won't send them to him anymore. Wherever you are, Tom Turner. Uh-huh. Yeah, as a past due reminder. Yes. So, and you can see this all from here as well, you guys, just a heads up, right? Your tasks are in command. This is where we are. The command mobile app is literally just a mobile view of the top used tools in command. So, this is the view as well, right? So I can see from here, okay, I need to go ahead and I can see anyone's with this call, right? This phone, it's a call task, right? So when I check that off, you'll see on here too, this is what it looks like when you do it from the app. This is what I was talking about. So if you do it from here or from the app, same thing. It's exactly what it looks like. You can say we talked, and this is what we talked about. We talked about that their daughter's about to try out for cheerleading. So that'll be a great thing to bring up next time you talk, right? If you do not complete it and by the due date, it will put it over to past due. Okay, just a heads up. And then after 14 days of not completing it, it'll expire the task. Is the only other thing. Yeah, just quit real estate now. Yeah. Oh, I kind of want to do that now. I'm just gonna go into your systems and be like, yeah, make rogue reminders in there. Okay, so smart plans are really valuable to be reminding you to be doing things, right? You shouldn't have to remember which contacts to call. You shouldn't have to remember to handwrite your cards and send them. You need to set up reminders like this to remind you to do that for you. Now, yeah, and too though, for like what I haven't touched on is how to put like pop buys or email reminders in a smart plan. Okay. But what you can do is you can actually set up a custom smart plan. And, you know, if you want to do this, feel free to set up an appointment. We'll like walk you through it. But you can set up a custom smart plan to notify you of, okay, on the, you know, second week of the month, I want to be reminded to send my call to action newsletter, right? So there are ways that you can set up a custom smart plan to even take the pop buys off of your plate completely, like mental load, I mean, right? So if you do want to make an appointment with us, just a reminder of how to do that. And we can walk you through that more in depth. That's on kwbresources.com. And then on the top right, I need tech help. Please.
On Facebook, I saw this one of our pages. There was a lady that already had done one for the market update.
Mhm.
But of course, it's if they get the information in the middle of the month.
Mhm.
She posted already October. So is there any way to automatically
She posted August. Wait, September, I mean?
September?
Okay, got it.
So I had it done, but
Mhm.
now I have to look every time she posts to be able to load it up onto the command.
Yeah, like you're asking if it there's a way to automatically, yeah, no, not that I've seen. I mean, the infographics on Canopy, that's what we use, and then we schedule it out through command. But I'm not sure where you're getting
Well,
the
so this
stats.
is something I'll look for her.
Okay, perfect.
But, yeah, so it's just both.
Well, in case you do want to do that, so let's say you see a graphic, let's say you get that one from Canopy. I'm going to show you how to schedule out a social piece. So, you know, and especially if you have that stuff already made and ideas for social pieces, by the way, keepingcurrentmatters.com is one of my favorite /blog. So keepingcurrentmatters/blog, or just click on real estate blog. Really, really awesome information. You can even share these graphics in here. So if you do want easy ways to find things, Pinterest is another good way. Of course, Command itself has social posts, but if you are given content, let's say like that graphic, you can absolutely come in and schedule it from here. Can't do it, you know, automated, but you can go in and schedule it. Let's say, yeah, the market stats are the most difficult because you can't really schedule it way in advance, you know, because it needs to come out. But in that way, you could more maybe set up like an automated reminder to remind you on the 15th of each month to go check for the market stats, you know. And so when it comes to like, you know, a reminder system for Popeyes or things like this, we can help in an appointment and like kind of tailor it to you. We can walk you through this. So if you have questions on that, make an appointment. But if you do want to post out social posts, so where I am in command, so if you can go to command, and I am in the campaign section. So that's the icon that looks like a megaphone for campaigns. Campaigns do a bunch of different things, as you'll see on the white toolbar at the top. You can launch paid ads from here, like Facebook ads and emails, postcards directly to their mailbox. In this case, we're clicking on social posts. And this is free, which is great. And it allows you to schedule it out. Now, there are quick posts in here. So let's say I need to post on social media. I don't know what to write, right? I have nothing for today. There are quick posts that Command puts in here on the right-hand side that you could just go ahead and click any of these arrows to share it to your social media right away, okay? And you can even click on shuffle right here and it'll shuffle what quick posts it's showing. So if you don't like any of those, you can switch it up. So that's one way to quickly post things. But if you were even given a graphic, okay, so what I would do is I am in, again, the campaign section. So these steps are how to schedule out a piece from Command, campaigns. Second step, create campaign on the right-hand side, top right. That action button in Command on every page is usually top right here. We'll click create campaign. And we're doing social post, the free one. So campaign section of command, create campaign on the top right, and then social post. You do have to have a Facebook business page for this to work. You can now actually even schedule out in advance on Instagram, but again, you have to have an Instagram business page for that to work. If you would like steps on how to do that, just jot that down and I'll send that over in an email. It's new. Yeah. Brand new, like 2 weeks ago. I know. So yeah, they just launched this feature that you can now schedule posts to Instagram as well. It was only Facebook through command. Yes. I know. So yeah, the idea behind this, guys, you don't have to log in to Facebook or Instagram ever, right? You can schedule everything through command and not have a whole nother platform that you need to be going through, right? Because I get a little overwhelmed. Personally, I get on Facebook and I forget what I'm doing. 5 minutes later, I'm on, because you see someone's post and suddenly you're like going through their life story. Anyway, sometimes it's better to just do it through command and stay focused. So this is where you can come in. And if you need those steps again, let me know, I'll show that. All right, but this is where I can come in and add content. So first of all, I can add, whatever pages or, Instagram I want to go ahead and post that on. Then I can put the content here. So there's a little photo icon to add media. So this is where, like, if you had that infographic or whatever of the market stats, you could just, drag and drop it in or bring it from your computer, right? So if you have anything, that you want to share, you can go ahead and browse that, or it allows you to browse designs. So that's command has a whole bunch of social designs. So that'll give you option to browse that. So the idea is we're bringing in, let's say, whatever file, I don't know what this is. Okay. And we're putting in some text. All right, as far as text, keeping it short and sweet is good. Using emojis, also recommended. As far as using emojis, right, there's for marketing, it's very eye-catching to use emojis, just business-wise, right, and professionalism. Just keep that in mind when you're selecting your emojis and how many you're doing. I personally like to put emojis like on the first line of sentences to kind of draw attention, like an attention grabber, whether that's like there's like an alert one or like a sparkle, and then you could say like open house this weekend, right? So just that emoji at the beginning, it tells them this is where I want to draw their attention. There sure are. I would love to hear your examples, but so yeah, I would recommend using emojis and hashtags. Let's talk about hashtags real quick. Hashtags are a necessary evil. If you're wondering what a hashtag is, it's a way that social platforms group posts. So if, let's say, you hashtag Halloween, okay? If you click on that hashtag, right, it's clickable, you would go and see everyone's posts for Halloween. Hashtag Halloween 2020. So you'd see all the posts. That's how they're grouping posts by, and it could be by political. I mean, not that you should, but like, if you click on Republican, hashtag whatever, you're going to go see all of those posts, right? So that's the idea, what a hashtag does. Now, as far as what hashtags you should use, first of all, the recommended number is 11. That was high. I used to do 2 or 3. Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about what those are. It should be, depending on what you are posting, you can switch this up. But in general, I'll put some up here so you can write them down or whatever you'd like to do. So things like, obviously, real estate. Okay. And these are one word. So don't put a space, right? It's a hashtag. It has to be all one word. There's no space between it. So hashtag real estate, hashtag Charlotte NC, hashtag Charlotte homes, hashtag homes for sale. Hashtag Charlotte Realtor. Okay, and then I want you to also think of things like, okay, what would they search on Google to try to find something like this, right? And so a lot of times that could be the word Zillow and JuLeah, okay? So what this does is it's taking search terms that they put in their browser, and if they have, like they've gone to Zillow, right? That's more likely for this post to show up for them, right? So if they've interacted with someone who's posted something or Zillow, right? With that hashtag, if they like something with the same hashtag you're using, that's what makes your post pull up, okay? So outside of that, what about things like home hacks? Maybe I don't care about buying or selling. Maybe I just really like home tips, right? So adding some of that. And of course, if this isn't a home hack or a home tip you're adding, don't maybe put those. Right, but we're trying to give them key terms. What would you search to find the interesting fact? Hashtag real estate update is a good one. Hashtag market update is another good one. Real estate update. But what you want to make sure you're doing is include a few hashtags with your geographic location. Okay, because you guys don't care about, I mean, not really, someone who's interested in real estate in, California, right? You are interested in your local area. So even hashtagging things like Valentine or hashtag South Charlotte, if that is your.
Mentioning market update, let's say, then I need to put hashtag market update Charlotte.
Well, so you can separate the hashtag. So you could do hashtag market update, hashtag Charlotte NC.
Oh, as long as it's on the same code.
Yeah, because it does matter. You can't just make up hashtags. Like if you use a hashtag that no one else has ever used, well, then it'll do nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it just does nothing at that point. Yeah. Nice. So there you go. You're right. I do like that. And so with that, yes. So Fatima brought up a great point about hashtags. So like I was saying, do you want to take that outside? Outside. Move outside. Yeah, you're good. Okay. I forgot what else. Hashtags. Oh, yes. Thanks, Fatima. Thank you. So right, hashtags are only valuable. Like if you put hashtag Yates Maxwell properties, I mean, that's good. You can start making that hashtag, but no one else has used that hashtag probably on the internet. So it's not going to push your content in front of those people. And that's the goal of the hashtag. Now, Fatima is saying and bringing up a good point, when you're actually posting on Facebook itself or Instagram, it does show you the amount of posts or views that hashtag has. So you know if you're making one up completely or if it does have like 1 million views, right? That's a good one to put on there. And it completes it and everything. Right. Right. And yeah, mixing up too, like to that point, if some have like 100,000 views and some have like 7 million, mixing in, the two, right, is a good thing, right? You shouldn't have only like 7, if you're basing it on this, because, right, it's more saturated. So technically it's harder to get in front of them than a smaller niche, right? And with this being said, just as focusing, the more you guys can nail down a niche, the better. And I know real estate is your niche. The more you can sub niche, and that could be like, people who are downsizing, people who are moving to Charlotte. It just really helps in your marketing efforts. And right, it's really saturated out there. Real estate, hashtag real estate marketing in general, really saturated. If you can find your own little niche, marketing wise, you are not like so much more likely to get up in front of people because it's not so saturated. And I used to have that question when I just started marketing. Okay, well, I want to market them as working in all of Charlotte, but then, Ballantyne and South Charlotte, there's a much like smaller, content on that online. So you'll come up as one of the first resources. If you're making content about, neighborhoods that don't have a lot of content online, that's how you come up. Right? If you're making content on Charlotte real estate, I mean, you're just not going to come up organically for them is all, right? And that's the idea behind these strategies. Okay. So how we go ahead and post this, right, is once I drag the file in, right? So I'm bringing in a picture or, right, you can browse designs here, maybe market stats. And then on the bottom here, this is where it allows you to schedule the post out. So even if you, let's say, sat down one day on Pinterest and got 4 really cool home hacks, okay? And you could go in here and schedule them out once a week for the next month. So it would look like you come down the schedule posts. Let's say I want this to go out on Thursday. Okay, recommended time frames, if you're curious, is between 10 and 11. Okay, social media, and this goes for newsletters. Yeah, 10 and 11 a.m. and between 1 and 2 p.m. Your audience varies. Okay, that is not, I mean, it's a blanket statement, but depending on your audience's engagement, it's something that you can test. So don't feel like, okay, if I don't send it here, I shouldn't send it at all, because different audiences engage at different times. However, bad times to send it is rush hour. So 5 to 6 p.m. I would recommend holding off. As far as emails go, weekends are bad. Fridays, evening. So like if you're getting to like Friday at 6 p.m. Friday mornings aren't bad. Friday 6 p.m. and after, okay, they get an email to their inbox. Maybe they don't even look to their emails until Monday. How many emails did they get over the weekend that now push yours to the very bottom that they're barely gonna see, right? By the time they get to the bottom, they don't want to open another email, right? So Tuesdays and Thursdays are generally the best days, in case you're wondering, between 10 and 11 or 1 to 2 p.m. So right after lunch, or the morning time is supposed to be after people get in, do their work, and then they're done working a little bit for the day and they go on social media or on their emails before lunch. Okay, so this is how you would schedule this post in advance, and then you could schedule. So try to start thinking about that. What is something like, okay, yeah, you can't schedule out the market stats, right? But I could look up 4 home hacks and schedule that out, right? Or what are some things you could schedule in advance? And utilizing that, the more you can, I mean, the more efficient your process, Questions on scheduling social posts or anything that we've talked about. I do absolutely know that this was a lot. Okay. And so I would encourage you to make an appointment with us so we can sit down and talk about it within your business and finish showing you anything, if you have questions on how to implement anything on this plan. Let's meet. Let's put it in your system so you don't have to think about it. Let's create that smart plan. We'll do it together. Okay. So don't feel like you came here, you got all these ideas, because it happens a lot. And then you go on and, well, I have ideas, I just don't know what to do with them, right? That's what we're here for, to help you for free, right? Like the Market Center pays us to meet with you guys and help you guys. So come see us.
Here's a quick question.
Okay.
Database,
Listening. Oh, okay.
well, it's falling under mine.
You're right. This is, you're just a team. So we'll just need to talk about it later. It's just unique. Well, we have that tomorrow. So good. Any other questions I can answer for you? Or, if you are sticking around for the next, well, I didn't end as early as I was hoping, but remember that first goal is to tag your contacts, get your contacts in there. I want to see VIPs next time I see you guys, like next week, I'm going to ask. And so you can either lie to me or you can actually do it. No.
Going back on the tag, go one by one and start deleting, like one.
With the tag, yeah, as far as, or you can just remove the tag. I think you can now bulk remove tags too. Are you sending me an email by chance for anything you need? Because I would love to look into this, but I will forget.
No, I just scheduled an appointment. I
good,
just
okay.
figured if I can.
I think you can bulk remove them. Let's look. Like, I think you can bulk, I think they rolled out this feature. Let me find them. Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, remove tags. Okay, so it's at least a little better. Okay, I just need water. I'm coming right back. Oh, never mind. I found another one. Bye. Great seeing you.